Hey guys, welcome back. So today we'll be converting mixed numbers into decimals and decimals into mixed numbers. So let's look at our first example. Let's say we have 5 and 3/4. How do I turn this mixed number here into a decimal? So let's go ahead and turn my 3/4 into a decimal, and then we're going to bring this 5 down in our final answer. So let's do 4 divided by 3. 4 does not go into 3, so I'm going to add my 0, decimal, decimal, 0. What about 4 goes into 30? 4 goes into 37 times. 4 times 7 is 28. 30 minus 28 is going to equal 2. And then I'm going to bring down my 0. 4 does not go into 2. However, 4 does go into 20 5 times. So 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 20 is going to equal 0. So 3/4 as a decimal is 0.75. So we got 0.75 here. However, I do have my 5 out here that I need to bring down. So this is going to be 5 plus my 0.75, which is going to equal 5.75. And this is your final answer. So let's look at this example here. First, we're going to divide my 8 divided by 33. So we have 33 on the outside, 8 is on the inside. 33 does not go into 8, so I'm going to add my decimal, decimal, and 0. What about 33 goes into 80 now? 33 goes into 82 times. 33 times 2 is 66. 80 minus 66 is going to equal 14. 33 does not go into 14, so I'm going to bring another 0 down. 33 goes into 140 4 times. 33 times 4 is going to equal 132. 140 minus 132 is going to equal 8. 33 does not go into 8, so I'm going to bring another 0 down. 33 now goes into 82 times. 33 times 2 is 66. 80 minus 66 is going to equal 14. 33 does not go into 14 again, so I'm going to bring another 0 down. 33, however, goes into 140 4 times. 33 times 4 is going to equal 132. 140 minus 132 is going to equal 8. And as you can see, I do have a repeating decimal here. So 8 divided by 33 is going to equal 0.24 with a bar over to indicate that it is a repeating decimal, because you're going to get 0.2424 and it's going to go all the way down. So since 8 divided by 33 is 0.24 repeating, so we have 7 plus our 0.24 repeating. So this is going to give you 7.24, and this is your final answer. So let's look at this example here. I'm going to first divide 2 divided by 9. So we have our 9 on the outside, 2 is on the inside. 9 does not go into 2, so I'm getting my decimal, decimal, and 0. 9, however, goes into 20 2 times. 9 times 2 is 18. 20 minus 18 is going to equal 2. I'm going to bring down another 0 because 9 doesn't go into 2. However, 9 goes into 20 2 times. 9 times 2 is 18. 20 minus 18 is going to be 2. 9 does not go into 2. However, 9 goes into 20. I'm bringing down a 0 here. 2 times. 9 times 2 is 18. 20 minus 18 is 2. 9 doesn't go into 2, so I'm going to bring another 0 down. So 9 goes into 20. We said 2 times. So 9 times 2 is 18. And as you can see here, we do have a repeating decimal. So 2 divided by 9, this is going to give us 0.22 repeating. So now I'm going to bring my 9 down. So you have 9 plus 0.222 repeating. So your answer is going to be 9.22 with a line over the 2, indicating that the number 2 is repeating. So this is your final answer. Let's try 4 1/3. So I'm going to divide my 1 divided by 3. So my 3 is on the outside, 1 is on the inside. 3 does not go into 1, so I'm going to add my decimal, decimal, and 0. 3 goes into 10 now 3 times. 3 times 3, this is going to give us 9. 10 minus 9 is going to equal 1. 3 does not go into 1, so I'm going to bring my 0 down. 3 goes into 10 now 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is going to equal 1. 3 doesn't go into 1. However, 3 goes into 10. 3 times again. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is going to equal 1. 3 doesn't go into 1. However, 3 goes into 10. We said 3 times again. So 3 times 3 is 9. And as you can see here, we do have a repeating decimal. The number 3 continues to go on and on and on. So 1 divided by 3, this is going to give you 0.33 with a line over indicating that my 3's are repeating. However, we do have a 4 here, so we have 4 plus your repeating decimal. So this is going to be 4.33 with a line over the 3 here, and this is your final answer. Let's look at 6 3/5. So I'm going to divide my 3 divided by 5 first. So we have 5 on the outside, 3 is on the inside. 5 goes into 3, it doesn't go, so that's going to be 0. So I'm going to add my decimal, decimal 0 here. And remember, you can always add your imaginary 0 here in front of my decimal point because 5 does not go into 3, it goes in 0 times. So now 5 goes into 30, it goes in 6 times. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 minus 30 is going to equal 0. So 3 divided by 5 as a decimal here, you're going to get 0.6. However, we do have our whole number, our 6. So we have 6 plus that decimal. Your answer is going to be 6.6. So let's look at this example here. I'm going to first divide my 7 divided by 11. So 11 is on the outside, 7 is on the inside. 11 does not go into 7. However, 11 goes into 76 times. 11 times 6 is 66. 70 minus 66 is going to equal 4. 11 doesn't go into 4, so I'm going to bring down a 0. 11 now goes into 40 3 times. 11 times 3 is 33. 40 minus 33 is going to equal 7. 11 doesn't go into 7. However, 11 does go into 76 times. 11 times 6 is 66. 70 minus 66, this is going to equal 4. 11 doesn't go into 4. However, 11 goes into 40, bringing my 0 down 3 times. 11 times 3 is 33. And as you can see here, we do have a repeating decimal. So 7 divided by 11, this is going to give you 0.63 repeating. However, we do have our whole number here. So we have 2 plus that repeating decimal, and your answer is going to be 2.63 repeating. And remember, when you are converting a mixed number into a decimal, go ahead and divide your fraction here, and then you're going to add your whole number at the end with your final answer. So let's say you had to convert our decimals into fractions. So let's say we had 0.5. How do I turn 0.5 into a fraction? And you do that by taking the place value of your last digit and turning that into a fraction. So my 5 here is in the 10th place. So as a fraction, this is going to be 5 over 10. And if I simplify this fraction, 5 divided by both the 5 and the 10, I'm going to get 1 over 2. So as a fraction, 0.5 equals 5/10 or 1 over 2. So let's say you have the decimal 0.35. How do I turn 0.35 into a fraction? Well, this is my 10th place. This is my 100th place. So this is going to be 35 over 100. And if I simplify my answer, the number 5 goes into both the 35 and the 100. So 35 divided by 5 is going to equal 7. And then 100 divided by 5, that's going to equal 20. So if you're converting a decimal to a fraction, your answer here is going to be 35 over 100 or 7 over 20. So let's say we had 2.35 this time. So we have a decimal that we want to convert into a mixed number. So remember here, 0.35 as a fraction is going to be 35 over 100. So if I simplify this, this is going to give us the 7 over 20, which is what we solved here at the bottom. However, I do have my 2 here that I need to include in my final answer. So this is going to be 2 and 7 over 20. So let's try 7.32. Let's turn this into a mixed number. So let's solve this 32 here. So we have my tens place and this is my hundredths place here. So this is going to be 32 over 100. And if I simplify this fraction, the number 4 goes into both the 32 and the 100. So 32 divided by 4, this is going to equal 8. And then 100 divided by 4, this is going to equal 25. So 32 over 100 simplifies into 8 over 25. However, I do need to include this 7 in my final answer because it is included in the initial problem. You have 7 and 8 over 25. Now look at this same example, 7.32. You can also write it as 7 and 32 over 100. However, when you're simplifying your answer, this is going to get you 8 over 25. So you can get the top answer here, or you can get the second answer depending if you simplify your answer. So let's look at 8.75, and I need to turn this into a mixed number. So remember 75 here, let's look at that. So this is your tens place, and this is your hundredths place. So this is going to be 75 over 100. And here you have your 8 that you're going to bring down. So this is 8 and 75 over 100. Now, if you simplify your answer, the number 25 goes into both the 75 and the 100. So 75 divided by 25, this is going to equal 3. And then 100 divided by 25, this is going to equal 4. So if you simplify your answer, you're going to get 8 and 3/4. So let's look at 3.625. How do I turn this into a mixed number? Well, you have your 625 here. This is going to be 625 over 1,000. This is your tens place, your hundredths place, and your thousands place. So we write that over 1,000. However, you do have your 3 here that you need to bring down in your answer. So you can leave it like this, or if you simplify your fraction, so we have 625 over 1,000. So the number 125 goes into both the 625 and the 1,000. So my numerator is going to be 5, and then my denominator here is going to be 8. So if you simplify your answer, you're going to get 3 and 5/8. So these are your answers here. Let's look at 4.875. How do I turn this into a mixed number? This is my tens place, my hundredths place, and my thousands place. So this is going to be 875 over 1,000. However, I'm going to bring my 4 down and include that in my final answer because it is in the initial problem here. And I can simplify my 875 over 1,000 because the number 125 goes into both. So my numerator here is going to be 7 and my denominator is going to be 8. So if you simplify your answer, you're going to get 4 and 7/8. And these are your answers here. Let's look at 5.55. How do I turn this into a mixed number? So my 55 here, this is my tenths place, my hundredths place. So this is going to be 55 over 100. And we're going to bring my 5 down. So you have your 5 here. However, I can simplify my 55 over 100 because the number 5 goes into both my numerator and denominator. So 55 divided by 5, this is 11. And then 100 divided by 5, this is 20. So your final answer, if you simplify your answer, is going to be 5 and 11 over 20. So let's just look at this example. Let's look at this mixed number here. We'll turn it into a decimal. So we're going to divide 3 over 5. I'm going to put my 5 on the outside. 3 is on the inside. 5 does not go into 3. However, 5 goes into 30. I'm going to add my decimal, and 0. 5 goes into 36 times. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 minus 30 is going to equal 0. So 3 over 5 here, this is going to equal 0.6. However, I do have a 2 that I need to include in my answer. So 2 plus 0.6 is going to give you 2.6. So now let's look here. Let's say I started with 2.6 and I needed to convert this into a mixed number. So remember, your 6 here is in the tens place. So this is going to be 6 over 10. And I have my 2 here that I need to bring down and include in my answer. So this is going to be 2 and 6 over 10. However, I can simplify my 6 over 10 because the number 2 goes into both my numerator and denominator. So my numerator is going to be 3, and then your denominator is going to be 5. So if you simplify your answer, you're going to get 2 and 3/5. Let's look at the fraction 4 and 1/4. If I turn this into a mixed number, we're going to divide 1 divided by 4. So we have our 4 on the outside, 1 is on the inside. 4 doesn't go into 1. However, 4 does go into 10 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. 10 minus 2, this is going to equal 2. 4 doesn't go into 2. However, 4 goes into 20 5 times. 20 minus 20 is going to equal 0. So as a decimal here, you're going to get 0.25. However, I need to bring my 4 down. So we have 4 plus 0.25, and this is going to equal 4.25. So now let's say I started with my 4.25, and I need to turn this into a mixed number. So we have our tenths place here, our hundredths place here. So this is going to be 25 over 100. And I'm going to bring my 4 down. So this is 4 and 25 over 100. However, I need to simplify my answer because the number 25 goes into both the numerator and denominator. So 25 divided by 25, this is 1. And then 100 divided by 25, this is also going to be 4. So if you simplify your answer, your fraction here, you're going to get 4 and 1/4. So let's look at 3 and 2/5. If I turn this into a decimal, we're going to divide my 2 over 5 here. 5 is on the outside, 2 is on the inside. 5 does not go into 2. However, 5 goes into 24 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is going to equal 0. So 2 divided by 5, this is going to equal 0.4. However, I do need to bring this 3 down. So we have 3 plus 0.4, and this is going to equal 3.4. So now let's say we started with the 3.4. I'm going to turn this into a mixed number. My 4 here is in the tens place, so this is going to be 4 over 10. And this 3 here, I'm going to bring this 3 down. However, I can simplify my 4 over 10 because the number 2 goes into both the 4 and the 10. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then 10 divided by 2, this is going to equal 5. So if you simplify your answer, you're going to get 3 and 2/5 as well. So let's look at one more. Let's say I had 5 and 1/10. So I'm going to divide my 1 over 10 here. 10 is on the outside, 1 is on the inside. 10 does not go into 1, so I'm going to add my decimal, 0. 10 goes into 10 one time. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. So as a decimal, your 1 over 10, this is going to equal 0.1. However, I do need to bring my 5 down, so 5 plus my 0.1, this is going to give you 5.1. And let's say we started with the 5.1. Let's say we started with 5.1 here, and I needed to convert this decimal into a mixed number. So this 1 here is in my tens place, so this is going to be 1 over 10. And then I have my 5 here that I'm going to include in my answer. And since I can't simplify any further, your final answer is 5 1/10. All right, so that is all for today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.